Hey guys, Dave here from Old Rigs Down Under, here with another video for you. Today I'm just going to do a quick video of a repair that I've got to do on one of my work trucks, the CH. You probably haven't seen too much of this one on the channel so far. It's nothing all that outstanding, it's just a good little work truck. So I was doing a job with it yesterday and just carting some grain between a couple of local farms, and wound the window down and the window just dropped out of sight. So it's still in the bottom of the door somewhere. Which was terrific as I was loading barley, which is a little bit itchy, and it just filled the bloody cab full of that. And anyway, so we better get to the bottom of that because I've got a little bit more barley to cart this week. So yeah, a little bit of a different video. I'll give you a look at the truck. So it's a 1994 model. It's the lowest end of the horsepower rating for the electronic E7 series of engines. 375 horsepower. It's got a 10-speed road ranger gearbox in it, and it's been that way from new. Mack diffs, 34,000 pound rating on new A suspension. So it is quite an original truck. It's had the 10 stud rims on the front from new, and the spiders on the rear. And yeah, it was a milk truck in Gippsland area of Victoria, Southern Australia, and talking to a bloke who used to run the workshop there, he said there was this one and another one were set up that way from new. So it is quite an original truck. It's done a bit over it's done about 1.15 million, I think. So yeah, the clock's on about 152,000 at the moment, and it's obviously been around that once. So it is quite a tidy original truck. It might be disappearing from the fleet soon. I've just got a couple of different ideas, so if anyone wants to buy it, just let me know. But it's not a bad little truck. Like I say, nothing all that classic about it. Doesn't really fit my fleet too much, but it is a pretty good little workhorse. Does a good variety of work for me. I can't really go around that other side at the moment, just because the sun's shining up over the top of it, and it'll bugger up the camera work. So we'll get into this job before we run out of light anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'll just quickly show you it's got the spiders on the rear, so 5-spoke spiders for a 34,000 pound back end. New A suspension. It rides alright, but it's still a little bit rough because it's so short. Obviously only a day cab, very practical truck for harvest and doing local work. I've probably been pushing the friendship on that. It's been going out to Wilcannia and Burke and a couple of these places towing houses, but not real good if you've got to sleep somewhere. But anyway, like I say, it's been pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, there's no window present there, so we better get to the bottom of that. So just because the truck's facing uphill slightly, that door just wants to close on me and be a bit of a pain in the arse. So I've just chocked it there. It has got a stopper on it anyway, but it's just got it off the stopper at the moment. So I'll just try and get you where you can see me, where hopefully I can completely block your view and bugger it right up as I normally do. But anyway, if you can see that, I'll try not to work in the camera too much. Probably gives you a pretty good view of me bloody second and third chins, which is just what we're all after in life. So anyway, I'm just going to quickly show you. This isn't an orchestrated video. I don't know what's going to be going wrong in this door. My guess, I'll just wind that, and you can hear the mechanism working. So my guess is where the little roller is that works on the bottom of the scissor, that controls, that lifts the track on the window. I'd say it's probably just popped out. Anyway, we'll soon find out. But a lot of my videos, I don't sort of open up a can of worms too much unless I know what I'm going to find. I just don't like that idea of potentially stuffing up on camera. But anyway, I've probably got to be a little bit more, take a few more risks that way. So yeah, your guess at the moment is as good as mine on this. So anyway, so with these Macks, the CH and the ultraliner cabs, they used Torx bits, like star drive, whatever you want to call them. So you always want a set of those on hand when you're working on these ones. Now, when you go back to the R model, F model, Superliner, all that sort of stuff, they use common sense and use Phillips head screws. So already, I've paused up my tools. You'd reckon I would have sorted that out, wouldn't you? So just grab the quarter drive little ratchet. Well, this one's both. This is the two-headed snake, this one. Look at that. Isn't that just a groovy little tool? Not a whole lot of length about it. Know the feeling. So we'll start off, we'll just drop out this window winder handle. Yeah, so they've just got a little plastic cover on the back of them just to protect where the edge of the winder goes onto the trim. These actually are a good setup on the R model doors, F model doors. They've got a sprung loaded clip with a little roll pin that goes in behind an escutcheon plate. And they're okay, but they can be a little bit of a bugger. Just having a screw there to undo is a pretty good idea, I reckon. So next up, I'm going to take just this top trim off, just your armrest or whatever you want to call it. See what we need here. There you go. Just hang these up neatly on the workbench I've prepared. Righto, so what you're left with now is pretty much just an empty door card, and there's no external screws that you can see on here. So get rid of this door light. Looks like that's had a dodgy Dave Willis repair, that one. Yeah, a little bit of a crack in the back of that light, a little bit of loose elastic, that means I've been there. Right, so at the moment, that's what you're confronted with. So if you noticed, the trim goes around that extruded section where the door handle goes. So in behind here, there's a series of clips that you've got to flick out of the door card, or out of the door skin, I suppose you'd say. Now, it can be a little bit tricky to get to. It's probably a better tool than that, but something with a good thin flat blade on it works pretty well. I'll show you the clips in a minute. They're folded up into the door card itself, and over time they pull out, and you know, heavy-handed mechanics and so forth usually bugger them as well. I'm guilty of that too. But anyway. You just got to try and get in and flick the things out as best you can. So we left a couple behind, but as you can see, when you get to a spot like that, or that, the clips come out, like they're so they just slide in. So there's a hole there that's where that slides downward from, and then you put it back in, and that just presses into the door. Now over time these things get a bit of moisture in them, they get a bit loose, they get pulled out, whatever. So yeah, sometimes you've got to glue them back into place, sometimes it's not possible. This one probably wants to go to a motor trimmer, get another card in it, reuse the fabric on the front of it, because the fabric's in pretty good nick. So, but anyway, so that piece is off and out of the way. Righto, panel here, we'll take it off, because that's going to give us access to the window, right? So obviously if you're doing the latch, and the link rod's associated between here and there, or here and your outside handle, that's what you're going to take off. So, but anyway, for now, we'll just get rid of this bloke here. Now, because there's a few different holes in it, I'm just going to mark the ones that have got screws on them. Screws in them, I should say. Now, there are a couple of holes there, like these blokes here on the side. And you think to yourself, they've got no screw in them or the holes don't line up. They're for our door card to push into. So don't get too worried about them. Yeah, normally this truck works alright, the air conditioning works well in it. It's quite a tidy little interior. Like I say, it hasn't done a lot of work. I mean, a million Ks in this day and age isn't a lot. So it's quite tidy and original in there, and I like to keep it clean, but unfortunately that wasn't real easy yesterday, so I want to get to the bottom of that before it becomes too much of a pigsty. Rightio, access panel removed, and got a window sitting down where it shouldn't be. Yeah, so as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, try and zoom it in and have a bit of a look. If you look in at that window there, sorry about the dodgy cameraing, you can't actually see anywhere where the window regulator legs are in sight. So this piece here can come off, and that'll give you the same effect. Your window will just sit in the bottom of the door, and this piece here, if it's still attached to your window regulator, will go up and down independently of the window, but you would hear that because it would be scraping and carrying on. This thing here isn't making any such noise. So, there we go. See the lid coming down there? So yeah, this one here, someone's already had a bit of a go at it, with a similar problem because there is a cable tie there. That is something I would do. So I'll get rid of that. So, because we can move this window anywhere, we've just got to get it to a point where it's happy and wants to go in. And there you go, it's back in. It's obviously going to come out again because it must be missing a part or missing a clip or something from there. So now we've got a window that goes up and down. Happy days, good times there. But when we get to the bottom of the window, which is right there where you're going to be resting your arm on it, or resting your arm on that armrest, your the arm that comes down off the regulator is at the point where it can push out. So that's not good. So I don't, and if we keep going like that, you can see the little wheel start to walk its way out. So really, where that window is there, probably for tomorrow anyway, we might just try and put a screw or a piece of wire or something in there just to stop that. Now, I'll have to check the parts diagram. I haven't got anything here, and there's a good chance I'm not going to have parts till midweek, because obviously today's a Sunday, and well, not obviously, you don't know that probably, but today is a Sunday, I'm not lying to you. And the Mack dealer probably won't have one of those in stock, so it would be overnight, so it would be probably Tuesday at the best before I could find a part for it. So I'll just have to look in the book, but I just reckon for now, for the short term, I reckon a little bit of wire or something through there, a little bit like that cable tie idea that was on there, just to try and zoom in a bit for you, just in that little slot there, just to stop that wheel coming much further forward, because it's at a point there where the window just drops a bit. You can see that just dropping on its own. So if we can get around that, we'll be able to put it back together, and that'll do until I've got some new parts to put into it. So I'm guessing it might need a new bottom track, but there might just be a clip or something that's missing there too. There's nothing loose in the bottom of the door to suggest that something has fallen out of there. So anyway, let's see what we can find. You reckon there'd be some wire around here somewhere. Come for a walk, I do know where there is some. We're just going to go over to the wire section. Captain shaky hands on the camera here, so just bear with me. Now I reckon, on the old Cranville crane, look at that piece of wire, beautiful. It's heavy enough that we probably won't quite be able to bend it. It'll just make me look like a dickhead on the video. Give you a quick look at the Cranville, you probably haven't seen too much of it. Got a repair job to do on it this week, so that'll be another video. Seems like everything of mine's just breaking down at the moment. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Rightio. Still recording, that's a bonus. So now it's getting to that point, and that wire is just getting stuck there. Sorry guys, sorry if you couldn't see that. So if you zoom in, if we zoom in there, or if I zoom in, you can just see that roller starting to come through there. So now we've just got a window that's sitting up ever so slightly, just up here, just sitting up a little bit. You put a bit of weight on it, and it's still not pushing past it. So just for a temporary repair, that'll be alright. So that'll get me out of trouble tomorrow. I'll be able to wind my window up until such time as I can get a new clip, or whether it stays in there for the next 20 years, who knows. Might have just found a bit of a design flaw there actually. So I might have to put a couple of pieces through it, just to make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah, I might just remake that piece there. I reckon it's just not quite good enough. Also just got to keep in mind that you've got to try and keep it thin enough that it's not going to foul on anything. Still going to play up there, the bugger. Right, yeah, back to the drawing board. We might have to just use that piece and just perhaps be a little bit careful with it tomorrow. That's probably all we can really do. Sorry if I'm blocking you off there, guys. I'll be done in a sec. That should rattle beautifully. trim on the end. Always wear eye protection. Right, so up we go. It's not fouling. Yeah, there's a bit of resistance there, so I think it'll be okay. Yeah, just for good measure, we could probably put a cable tie on it. As it is, it'll probably rattle like bugger. So just putting this tie here through the end of that wire there, this is horrible really. Anyone who's restoring a truck, please turn away now. Rightio, so at the moment, still have a functioning window. You can go down to where it needs to be. You want to have a look at that. That is an absolute work of art. I'll go one better. I'll take you off bloody Kelvin, the camera stand here. Zoom back out a bit. Have a look at that for a delicacy. So I've just tied that wire in, and the loop of the wire is on the other side, and I've gone through that with the cable tie. So I don't know if it gets much better than that really. So anyway, that's done what it needs to do. Sometimes it's just about getting the job done. Now clearly, if I had the parts here on hand, I'd fix that properly. I'd pull the window out of the thing. Now that's a little bit more involved again. You've got to pull that track out of there, and I'm pretty sure you got to, well, that's your window regulator there, and you may have to loosen it off too. I think I just figured now, but it's a bit more involved. But anyway, just for doing this job today, that'll get us out of trouble. I'll order some bits and pieces tomorrow, and we can. But anyway, yeah, for tomorrow and Tuesday, I can go to work. So let's put that thing back together. I'm just going to find all the bolts that I misplaced earlier. CH has used this door here in Australia up until about 2003. Definitely 02, but maybe 03. Then they went to a little bit of a different door card on them. Truth be told, underneath, probably similar. Got a bit of a different handle on them, and I think they used electric windows on the later ones too. The physical shape of it's still the same because the cab's still the same. So yeah, that's what I was saying. These used this door up until 2003. Ultraliners came out here in Australia in 1985. And they use the same door as well. So like the trend with Mack goes, the cab overs lead the way. So with F models, they had a unique door, and then R models tapped into their goodwill and started using the same design. And the same things happen with the ultraliners. Make a good door, so we'll use it on a conventional. So basically, these trucks here have got the ultraliner to thank when it's all said and done. But anyway, you can still buy all the parts for these doors at this stage. A couple of the weather strips up here are getting a little bit hard to find for them. But yeah, high volume stuff generally isn't a problem. So next up, we'll put that door card back on. We might try and get those couple of clips out. So you can see that, I mean, that's what they're shaped like. Did sort of show you there before. That groove is supposed to fit inside a nice solid card, but when they get a little bit dog-eared and furry and the hole gets elongated a little bit, they don't fit very well. So it might just have to survive with a couple missing like it has done for a while. Yeah, they get a little bit ugly. Really needs one down the bottom. It hasn't had one down there, so it would be nice to try and get one in there. Probably won't fit. They do have to be in a certain spot. No, not by a long shot. Oh yeah, we can probably get that one in there, which is better than nothing. Yeah, lacking a couple down the bottom, but we'll be okay. Yeah, so anyway, it's a job for another day. So a little bit different to the B model and the R model door frames, or door panel, I suppose you'd say, window regulator and so forth. With those models, steel door, they, as I've done a B model video before, I probably haven't done an R model or F model one, but the whole window and everything comes out with the panel. So the later model trucks that use a similar type of soft trim as this, they you take that off with a series of screws, and then underneath is a perimeter. So it's about as big as your window, obviously. So on the R model and F model doors, you've got a panel like that, about that big, with a series of screws around it. You have to undo your latch. You have to take off an inside door panel there, and then the whole window and the regulator and everything comes out. Your inside door latch and everything, it all comes out as one. So if you know the right sequence how to pull them apart, they're not too bad. You do get used to them, but yeah, these aren't such a bad thing either. Probably just throwing that wire in there somewhere, it's pretty handy. It's a bit frustrating. So this little light here obviously does help the keep the door card in as well. It screws it goes straight through to the panel behind it. I might have just lost that other screw, which is pretty handy. Yes. Rightio, one last thing to go. Window winder handle on with a little plastic cover or sleeve. Doesn't hurt to put a little bit of Loctite on those, they do rattle loose, but because this thing will be coming back off again once I get a couple of parts for it, I'll just leave it the way it is. But anyway, we've got a working, functioning window again, so that's a good thing. And I will get rid of that the fancy wire work and the cable tie as well. But yeah, so that's how you get the cover off a CH door. And yeah, I hope this video might be helpful to you, or mildly interesting viewing. Yeah, nothing too special, no getting engines ready today or anything like that. But anyway, a repair nonetheless, and yeah, hopefully you can get something out of it. They're not as daunting as they look. You look at them and there's no screws or anything, and you wonder what you might have to do to get the thing apart. But anyway, hopefully that might help someone. Yeah, leave a comment if there's anything else you'd like to see in regards to this door. Yeah, I'll possibly do another video when we put that new part in, but it's not going to be that much different. So there's already enough walking over old ground on this channel as it is, so I probably don't need to do too much more of it. But yeah, anyway, like I say, guys, there will be a couple more repairs this week on a few of my own vehicles. There's the old Cranville crane I showed you before has got a bit of a fuel leak, so I'm just putting a new filter housing on that and just doing a service on it. So again, nothing that's probably going to jump out and grab you, but it's all stuff I've just got to do, and I'm the only one here, so yeah, just fix what I can when I can. And I could spend the next buddy 20 years here just fixing stuff up and working on my own gear, but that doesn't pay too well. So yeah, just try and keep things rolling as best as I can, and usually by the time you've got to fix things up, they're well and truly overdue to be fixed, but you get there one way or another. So anyway, that'll do for today. Thanks for watching, and yeah, hope you've got something out of it, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.